The Viking warrior, a name that echoes through history. Images of fierce axe-wielding raiders come to mind, but their true power began long before battle. It started at the feasting table, with the food that fueled their legendary stamina. Their diet was no accident, it was crafted for survival and conquest. Forget the myths. Let's look at the real source of Viking strength. How did they prepare for the physical demands of combat? What did they eat before a raid? Their meals were as vital as their weapons, a calculated strategy for peak performance. Picture the longhouse on the eve of a raid, the air thick with roasting meat, warriors gathered around the fire, fueling up for the trials ahead. Every bite was energy for rowing, marching, and fighting. This meal was the foundation of their fearsome reputation. From hearty stews to dense breads, every element had a purpose. By understanding what they ate, we gain insight into how they became one of history's most formidable forces. Their story is not just one of battle, but of the powerful act of sharing a meal. So what did Vikings eat before battle? Their diet was robust, practical, and packed with calories. Meat and fish were the core: cattle, sheep, pigs, wild game, and a bounty of fish like cod and herring. These proteins and fats built strong muscles and lasting energy. Carbohydrates were just as crucial. Vikings grew barley, rye, and oats, making dense, heavy bread and hearty porridges. These grains provided slow-release energy for long days of rowing and fighting. Vegetables and fruits played a supporting role. Root vegetables like carrots and turnips, cabbages, onions, and wild berries. Honey added sweetness and extra calories. This combination of protein, complex carbs, and nutrients created a perfectly balanced warrior's diet. Every meal was strategic fueling, loading up on energy reserves before the fight. Fats from meat gave long-lasting power, while grains offered immediate fuel. Vitamins from vegetables kept their bodies resilient under stress. The Viking diet was high in energy, designed for endurance and strength. It was about more than eating. It was about preparing for the challenges ahead. Every mouthful was a step toward victory. This was not just food, it was the fuel of conquest. The feast before battle was as important as the weapons they carried. The heart of the Viking pre-battle meal was the stew, scouse, a one-pot powerhouse. Into the cauldron went meat, root vegetables, onions, and cabbage, simmered for hours to create a rich, calorie-dense broth. Nothing was wasted, every drop was packed with energy. Warriors dipped dense, dark bread made from barley or rye into the stew, soaking up every bit of fuel. This bread was substantial, portable, and perfect for endurance. Meat, whether in stew or roasted over the fire, was a symbol of strength and a direct source of power. Roasted joints of meat boosted morale and displayed the chieftain's generosity. Protein repaired muscles. Fat provided concentrated energy. For Vikings, a feast of stew, bread, and meat was the ultimate power meal. It was practical, filling, and designed for warriors. Every element served a purpose to prepare body and mind for the coming battle. The meal was as much about unity as it was about nutrition. The pre-battle meal was more than just food, it was ritual. Warriors gathered in the longhouse, listening to skalds recite heroic sagas and toasting to gods and victory. Strong ale and mead flowed, forging unity and courage. These ceremonies transformed farmers into warriors, building a collective spirit. The atmosphere was charged with anticipation, the feast hall echoing with stories and laughter. Food and drink steeled their nerves and reminded them of their shared purpose. This was psychological preparation as much as physical. The communal meal bonded them, turning individuals into a brotherhood. The feast hall was their final preparation ground. Here they fortified both body and soul before facing battle. The Viking warriors' strength was forged at the feasting table. Their diet, rich in protein, grains, and vegetables, was the engine behind their legendary endurance. The pre-battle feast was a strategic weapon, fueling both body and spirit. Eating together united them, calming fears and igniting courage. Their success was built on more than ships and axes. It was powered by what they ate. The feast hall was where warriors became legends. So when you picture a Viking, remember their journey to battle began with a bowl of stew and a horn of ale. Their true strength was forged in fire, both in battle and over the hearth.